Well, this is the pass, and just the way the defensive line just kind of does a great job of holding them in and making them not be able to take off.
Definitely.
They're just matched up all across the board.
Yes.
And really on this one, Armstead kind of gets caught in the middle, but he does a really good job of getting back outside to keep his
certainly. Here he is. No, here he is here.
Yep.
He's gonna get back out.
He gets lost, but he does a really good job of hustling back to the outside, which is what forces Newton to just run around like a chick with that cut off back there.
Right. And you can see that they're all been coached up to not let him scramble. And he is going to get outside here, but he's only going to get a few yards.
Yeah. And Armstead's done a good enough job, though, where he has to bubble around him a little bit, which is what helps the cavalry come up and make the play.
Now, let me show you what I saw in this play. I think this is kind of cool, and I think this is what Salah's been doing. Now, look, I think the personnel, you can't see the guy down here. I think that's a running back. I think that's a tight end. I think these are your wide receivers. I think you got Harry here and Edelman here, okay? So they're in base, but they're empty. And this is what they did in the Super Bowl to beat the Rams. You stay in a base formation, you go empty, and you get your linebackers matched up on you get your slot receivers lined up on linebackers. So what Salah does is he sticks with base, and he's got Fred Warner covering Julian Edelman. He's got Azeez Al-Shaair covering this guy over here. When Newton looks at this, he's thinking it's going to be zone coverage. I mean, most people are thinking the defensive coordinator is not going to trust his linebacker on Julian Edelman. But Salah trusts Fred Warner to cover anyone. And there is a momentary confusion with a lot of these quarterbacks where they get the ball and they're like, oh my God, it's man. It's man. And that creates the hesitation. There's no one open and they're disguising their coverage. This is how the Niners are actually winning with coverage right now. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're doing terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got the speed at the second level, and that's really with those linebackers. They just got so much speed. That's really why they're able to do these kind of things.
Now, Azeez Al-Shaair isn't quite as good covering wide receivers as Fred Warner is, but they had a safety over the top, and this is the wrinkle that I don't know if teams realize the Niners are doing. They're using Fred Warner to disguise their coverages because he can cover anyone man to man.
Yep. No, definitely. And on this one, I picked this one really because I like the fact they get a little creative here again with the coverage as well. This is a really nice play by Moore. And what they're doing on this one is they're actually going to be doubling the running back on this one. You can see when you watch this one from the end zone, you can see the Moore following the running back the whole way. They've got Hyder kind of in coverage with him underneath.
See, I watched this play and I was wondering if it was just instincts or double because the fact that Hyder's on James White on 3rd and 4 seems like really, Robert, but no, he's doubling him. That's smart.
Yeah, I think that he's doubling him because when you watch it from the back, you don't
he reacts so quickly. Way. Yeah, he reacts so quickly.
He's just locked in on him. They got man everywhere else, and
here's the marker. Here's Moore.
Yeah,
there's a terrible throw and just a big time hit.
Yeah. And if you just go back to the beginning again, just one other thing real quick, and just to point out something we talked about last week. Watch the safety at the top of the screen. He's going to he's taking the crosser. This is kind of what we talked about last week, where you got 3 receivers to the same side. They're going to start looking the other way. They did this in the Super Bowl as well.
Yes. And right, you bring him down because that's quarters coverage, right? Because if you're playing cover 3, you're going to have to pick up those crossers with linebackers, with your underneath guys, I believe.
I think what they're playing. I think they're playing 2 with man under. It's a version of man. They're playing
interesting
cover 2, but it's man because of the double. And he's just looking, and he's bringing him.
Definitely man over here. Yeah,
and it's man on the bottom too, and it's just a really nice coverage all around. There's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's interesting. All these different coverages are really confusing. It's confusing me. It's like, what is that? Remember last week we were looking at one from the Rams game. We're like, is that man? Is that zone? I don't even know. Imagine playing quarterback.
Yeah, it's almost the same as what you have here because you got the man around the cross, and really what they're doing is it's almost like they're doubling both of those guys, both 28 and 11, because you can see right there the safety's looking at it, staring them down all the way. So if 47 gets beat, he's just going to take his head off.
Absolutely.
And you can see that's where Newton wanted to go.
No question.
The out. He looked there and then brings it back to the flat.
Which means Saleh anticipated the route, the concept. That's nice.
This is a similar concept. The only thing is the ball's on the other side now, and you've got more on the top of the screen.
Yeah.
It's the same thing where he's just going to be, he's sitting there on the route.
Mm-hmm.
Jump. I think they're actually in a more of almost like a man coverage on this one with a single high, but he's just jumping that. And as soon as he gets it, he nails Harry and knocks him out of the game. This is just terrific.
Such a big hit.
Yeah, this is a great play on his part, just the timing of it and everything. But this is a great call by Saleh to set these guys up. They knew it was almost like, as you watch the game throughout the first half, it's almost like they know what's coming before the balls even snap.
Yeah, they have all their tendencies. It's almost like they're in their headset.
Yeah,
you know it's going to Harry. They set it up for it.
Yeah. Oh. It looks like the inside man is actually covering, the man that's got the man coverage on him, but they've got the robber on the top just ready to lay the wood.
Oh, that's a concussion right there. My goodness.
Yeah, and that was
we're thinking, can this guy tackle? Yes, he can. All right. Oh yeah.
The only concern with him, and we didn't see it in this game because the Patriots never really broke free, is his ability to get some angles every once in a while.
Yes,
feet on angles every so often. But other than that, he's a really heck of a player. Very instinctual. We saw that against. We saw him make a play like this against Tampa in the season opener, where he came across in the end zone and knocked the ball away.
Yes, he did. Good call. And then he flexes in the poor guy's face.
As he's knocked out. It looks like cover 3. He's going to open to his left.
Yes.
He sees, and so as soon as basically he's reading the tight end or the in route. He sees the in route. He levels off.
Yep. Now he's in man.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's not really in man. He's in zone, but he's just sitting under it.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's like zone turns into man after a couple of seconds and people are scrambling around. But yes, it's zone. He picks him up. Great awareness. Yeah. And just runs the route for him. Mm-hmm. What is Cam doing?
Yeah. And the other thing I want to point out on this one is it's a great play by Warner, no doubt. It's also really helped out by the pressure that they get off of the right side by Hyder. He does a nice job of running around the edge on this one and getting there and forcing Hyder pressure. Yep.
Oh yeah, beats him right there, going around a tight end. Should beat him.
Yep.
Throws him aside.
Gets underneath, so he's never really too high.
Yep.
That forces him to step up, and then you got Alshire right there right in his face as he throws the ball.
Good call. That was his pressure. That's an example of effective pressure, Jack.
Yeah, definitely. On this one, we're going to have a screen up to the top of to the left, to the defense's right. And the reason I pulled this one out is this is just a really good job of by Kinlaw. He doesn't get any pressure. He realizes it's a screen, it's breaking off, and his recognition of it, and is there. The nice part about it is they form a nice little. There's nowhere for the running back to go because they got the man coming from the outside. Because I think it's Alshire does a good job of getting past the block. But he's got the help from Kinlaw to not allow this guy to cut inside. So between 51 and 99, they do a really good job of making the stop here.
That's interesting. I've been thinking a lot about Kinlaw because I feel vindicated, like what I saw in training camp and what I determined he could and couldn't be. I feel like I was right. He's not much of a pass rusher, but he does certain things really well. He plays very hard. And I think he has a pretty high football IQ, which is why he's batting down passes. He's not giving up containment. He's tracking screens down and not getting fooled. I think he's actually a very smart player.
Yeah, he's just a good all-around player.
Yeah.
Right. He's not there at all right now with his pass rush.
No.
But he doesn't stop.
No, you're right.
And he does a really good job of chasing the ball down all the time. So
absolutely. And those batted passes are definitely effective. They're helpful.
Oh, definitely. It's on the top of the screen. It's just a little route. Should be a first down completion to the guy at the top of the screen on Mosley. He's got this wide open at the top of the screen. And then they just get lucky here, and that Newton just throws a worm burner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
CJ Beathard kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Mosley isn't the most aggressive corner. He'll keep things in front of him.
Yeah, and that's what I really like that about him. I like because that's if you're going to force a team, when you force a team to drive down the field, more likely the chances they're going to screw up just like this. So Gosh darn.
My problem with Newton, what an awful throw. Oh,
When he throws the ball, every ball he throws looks like he's trying to throw it 1,000,000 miles an hour.
that's exactly what I was just going to say, Jack. We're sharing a brain today. He throws every pass exactly the same, whether it's a 5-yard pass, a 20-yard pass, a lofted. He just always guns it, muscles up like this. I can't stand it.
No,
he's not accurate enough.
He's really dropped a long ways from 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think he's at that stage where we all wondered if Kaepernick would get to, where like you're not as mobile as you used to be. You're not going to beat people with your legs. You now have to actually beat people with your arm, and he can't.
Yeah, that's a good call, really, because him and Kaepernick are very similar quarterbacks all around. They're not very mobile. They're not very agile in the pocket. Where they're dangerous is once they get running. But they're not guys like what we're going to see this week, where you're going to get a guy just kind of scrambling all over the place and then taking off on you.
Also, they're one-speed throwers. Everything is one speed.
Yeah, everything's a fastball.
I like Kevin Givens. He's my favorite player in the NFL. No, he's right here, and he ends the game. Nice footwork, nice handwork, hand placement, whatever you want to call it. Quick win, and nice sack. Like, if we saw Javon Kinlaw do this at any point in any game, we would give him a standing ovation. I think it's fair to say Kevin Givens is pretty good.
No, he's really good, and they even lined him up on the edge a few times in this game.
Yeah, they did that in training camp too, and he would give Justin School a lot of problems. He's so low to the ground.
Yeah.
This
was a really good game all around for the team. It's going to be. They really got me fired up for Sunday.